What we're doing now is from the constituency that my colleague just reported from, the Ayawaso West Wogon. Let's do some analysis on that. And Dr. Norte has joined us. Doc, we know that this is part of the data we have been able to extrapolate regarding that constituency.
Yes.
Walk us through it. If you say upper limit, what does it mean? Lower limit, what does it mean? And like Bella mentioned, that constituency seems to have consistently been won by the NPP. What are the chances? What can the NDC do or could do to tilt that in their favor?
Yeah. Basically, thank you very much. Basically, what NDC should do is perhaps to intensify on their way of campaigning. Certainly, NPP has dominated that space for a very long time.
Do we know why?
Yeah, there are a few reasons. There are a few pointers. One of the main pointer is that anytime people vote, it is during when the universities are in session. And so they get most of their votes from the campuses across. This time around, schools are not in session. So I don't know how it will play out.
Which would mean that, for instance, the University of Ghana, which has about over 40,000 people within that particular area,
yes.
have that 40,000 is out of the total registered persons within the Ayawaso constituency. So that could affect the dynamics of the voting pattern, right?
There are a few of them who would still be voting there. Okay. Those who are close to the environment would still come and vote on campus. And so they would still get a number of them. But we were saying that a chunk would not be available to vote.
Okay. Now, walk us through these numbers, because we are told that the upper limit for the NPP and then the lower limit, NDC, and the upper and lower limits, what do these mean?
Yes. So anytime you make an estimate, be it an average or whatever, you can set up what we call bounds. How far you can go at the lower end or how far you can go at the upper end. So these were actually computed based on the past data that we already have. So you could see that the estimated percentage for NPP is 52.75. That's quite huge. Okay? So for NDC to overtake this, it means that they need to put more into place. And then this translates into average votes of about 31,758. Okay? With the upper limit being 33,199 and the lower limit being 30,317. Actually, these estimates were based on the 2016 figures.
Right.
Now there had been a revision of the 2020 register. Let's see how it pans out.
Okay.
And then you will see that MPP's estimated average and the actual they got were much closer. And they operated above their average. In this game, we are saying that for you to win, you must always operate above the average.
Beyond a certain threshold.
Exactly. So once they are operating above the average, it means that they are doing well. When you look at NDC, their estimated percentage is 45.96. But the actual percentage they got was 42.05. It means that they are actually operating below their average. So they need to put in more to be able to counterbalance what MPP is doing. Because, mind you, if 42% moves up, it means it's going to eat into the 52%.
Absolutely, yeah.
And so they will drop.
So talk to us about the role of the independent candidates and what they could do to either of the two main parties. There are about two. There's one other party that fielded a candidate and an independent candidate. If these people are able to marshal some votes, what kind of impact would they have, and who is likely to lose votes?
These two dominant parties have always shown presence in this constituency. In fact, the constituency has always voted blue,
Right.
in favor of the NPP. And so it's a dichotomous situation. I don't see what the independent candidates are bringing to bear on this current election. And so, maximum, I would give them about 2% or 3% of the total votes. And the rest will be shared among these two major parties.
And then clearly, like you mentioned, whoever wins must go beyond a certain threshold, which should be minimum 50%.
Yes.
50% or more. All right, so these are many more analysis coming your way on your election command center. One other thing that we are looking at for you, that if we stay in the Greater Accra region, for instance, we do also know that there are smaller parties. So this is also, like you mentioned, it is the NPP consistently seem to have won that constituency. Walk us through these numbers. What does this mean for the other parties, like you mentioned?
So for the other parties, when you put all of them together, what it means is that their estimated percentage would not exceed 1.3% of the total votes.
And again, just to lay that caveat, these are figures from 2016 previous elections. So if everything remains constant, we are very likely to see this, but definitely there is not going to be constant.
That is what we are saying. But the actual percentage, actually, the estimator was 1.3. The actual percentage they did was 1.5. It means that there had been an improvement for other parties.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. This is your election command center, and like we mentioned, we're going to be every constituency that you are. Let us know what your thoughts are, or who you're voting for, what is influencing your decision to vote. We have so many more analysis coming your way. For now, though, we have some guests who are also going to be helping us better the conversation, better the understanding of what's happening. We have about 5 minutes for polls to open in the various constituencies. 5 minutes to 7 a.m. and your election command center will be bringing you the very latest regarding the biggest event happening in Ghana right now, Decision 2020.